4 hits, 5 driven in, and 4 scored in the run rule win over Kentucky. It's the freshman Peyton Burnham in the circle for Arkansas to kick off this tournament.
And Peyton Burnham has gotten better as this year has gone on as a freshman. Robin Herron, the lefty pitcher on staff, is really their ace, but Peyton Burnham has been such a great 1-2 punch behind her from the right side. So
here we go with game 2 of 4 in our second round. The Georgia Bulldogs and the Arkansas Razorbacks. And we're away at 1:45 local time here in Athens, Georgia, with a strike from Burnham to Dallas Goodnight. Goodnight grounds an off-speed pitch from Burnham, foul. That's Goodnight, Ellison, and Goodwin. Then the first 5 players in this Georgia lineup, seniors or juniors. A lot of experience lost from last year's Super Regional team, but a lot still returned. As Goodnight fouls away an 0-2. Tony Baldwin in year 4 at the University of Georgia as the head coach. A couple of Super Regionals, his team the 12th seed. But they get the benefit of home cooking, of sleeping in their home beds here, getting a workout at their home facility. They won the opener yesterday and had a good amount of rest before this game 2 against Arkansas.
I think it's part of the reason that he wanted to play game number 1 of the tournament. As a home team, you get to pick when you want to play, whenever your first game is.
Burnham's 1-2, grounded off her glove. It redirects into right center. And Goodnight, after a sharp turn, will hold on with a leadoff single.
These Georgia hitters are going to see a really good mix from the freshman and Burnham. She's going to use her rise ball the most, but I think it's her changeup that is her best pitch. It's her highest chase pitch, and also her highest pitch that she gets the highest percentage of swing and misses on. And then also we'll mix in a curveball and a screwball pretty evenly. So best pitch is going to be that rise ball that she leans the most on, alongside that changeup. Really good mix though for the freshman.
Tony Baldwin took a timeout here after the leadoff single by Goodnight. 6 pitches in, a timeout for Tony Baldwin. A little extra offensive pep talk. He's got his best runner, Dallas Goodnight, with her 27 steals over at first. Tyler Ellison, the junior second baseman, squares to bunt and takes a strike. Ellison grounded into a fielder's choice, walked twice, stole a base in the opener yesterday. There goes, oh, Goodnight! And Goodnight to the base runner on a diving catch by Bree Ellis for a double play. And we thought she was a hitter.
Yeah, I think that we forgot to put the defense in the package to talk about how she's one of the best players in the country. What a rough job by Bree Ellis to just rob extra bases from Tyler Ellison. Goodnight was in motion. What a play. I got on her hurry.
So Tony Baldwin calls over his offense. You can get creative here. You can bunt, you can steal. He goes with a hit and run. And it worked out beautifully, except for Bree Ellis, who will now field this one from Jaden Goodwin. Now we get to see Bree Ellis hit after a wonderful first inning in the field.
Well, the one thing that you need to know about Arkansas as a team, they have one of the best defenses in the country.
The Arkansas Razorbacks, nearly 6 runs a game in the league. And there's Ella McDowell, who is Bree Ellis's protection in the cleanup spot. And the freshman has been masterful behind Ellis this year. Reagan Johnson and Reagan Kramer will start it off. A couple of lefty batters against a lefty pitcher for Georgia.
And a couple of lefty starters that Georgia has on staff too, with Lily Backus and Randy Rolling. Very unique to have 2 lefty starters.
The sophomore Rolling gets the ball today after Backus fired a 5-inning shutout yesterday. Bobby DeMayo, the plate umpire, calls strike 1 on Reagan Johnson. Chelsea Clark's at first. Cameron Ellison is over at third. The umpires in game 2. And Johnson quickly in an 0-2 hole. The Arkansas junior center fielder has been their leadoff hitter all year long. She's hitting .430 in her last 18 games. And slaps this ball out of play.
Against LSU last weekend, she got hit in her ankle by a Jaden Hefner wild pitch that came at her in the left-handed batter's box and hit her really hard. Limped the rest of that game, and I saw that happen live, and I was hoping that she was going to be okay because speed is such a big part of her game.
Good to see her in there as she takes down and away for ball one. Arkansas 38-11 on the year, and they're great away from Bogle Park. Courtney Deifel's team 11-5 in true road games, 12-1 in neutral site games, so 23-6 away from home. And this is a neutral game that could feel like a road game, playing Georgia in Georgia's stadium.
One ball, 2 strikes.
The field looks great. Have all the SEC branding. It makes this field feel totally different.
One of the best fields in college softball here. Great to showcase this all week in Athens, Georgia. A little bit of rain this morning, no problem.
Over here taking notes from this girl in the stand. She caught that foul ball.
She wearing any rings? What do you think?
She is wearing one ring.
Yeah.
She's wearing an Aura ring just like me, but no rings on the other fingers.
7th pitch to Johnson. Reagan Johnson has fouled away 4 2-strike pitches. Arkansas has Bree Ellis in the 3-hole, and they have a couple of really pesky hitters before her. Johnson,
Still 1 ball, 2 strikes.
who's got 62 hits to lead the team. Then Reagan Kramer has got a .479 on base percentage. This is the 8th pitch to the leadoff hitter, and there will be a 9th.
Such a good word for the top of their lineup with both of the Reagans and Johnson and Kramer. Very tough outs, followed by Pop in the 3-4 hole.
Randy Rolling's 9th pitch. Up and away from 0-2 to 3-2.
Courtney Deifel said that Reagan Johnson didn't have a great start. She was pressing, chasing, getting out of herself, hitting the ball in the air a lot.
That's popped up to shallow left, and on the 10th pitch, Rolling momentarily rests.
When Randy Rolling is in the circle, going to be a little bit more down than what you saw from Lily Backus, who relied more on her rise ball. Drop ball is going to be the primary pitch that Rolling relies on alongside her rise, and will mix in a screw and change up at just 13% of the time.
Sophomore transfer from the University of California, former Cal Golden Bear. Can hit some high velocity as she dots the inside of Reagan Kramer with a strike. Senior from Topeka has reached base in 8 in a row. The on-base percentage .479. 37 hits, but 40 walks.
She has such a good eye. I used to hate pitching against hitters like this. It just did not help me out at all. I knew that I had to be perfect. I knew I had to make a really good pitch through the strike zone, because if it was a little bit out, they weren't going to swing. She did a little bit on that one. It's just a rarity. It just seems like when Reagan Kramer is in the box, the amount of pitches that she takes, that long at bat, she works the pitcher, she works the count, makes a pitcher find a way to find the strike zone with different pitches, not just one pitch.
Rolling's 1-2 is high. Arkansas in the SEC this year, the third most walks, the third best walk rate, partly because everybody walks Bree Ellis. Right behind her, 96 walks combined between those two. Kramer with a slap ground ball over to second. And a 2 out, nobody on.
I heard you.
Here comes the nation's best hitter. Bree Ellis' next home run will tie Bailey Hemphill and Mia Davidson for the single season record by an SEC player. If on-base plus slugging. Your OPS is around 900. That's very good. 1200 elite. 1881. Usually a typo. That's the best time for rolling to face her with 2 out and nobody on. 73 career home runs, the most of any active Division I player. She homered in 7 of 8 SEC series.
Ball.
And I'm not sure Randy Rolling wants anything to do with Bri Ellis right now.
It's probably because she's hitting, not slapping, not a speed player, hitting almost 500 with over a 1200 slugging percentage, 25 home runs, and she's getting on base almost 70% of the time.
Ball outside.
Only the great Mia Davidson, Mississippi State, more home runs in the SEC. Will Ellis get a chance to hit one here? No way. Last weekend against LSU was 1 for 3 with a home run and 10 walks. And she's got a 2-out walk as Arkansas's first base runner. So Ella McDowell gets to be the protection for Bri Ellis. A freshman from Richmond, Texas.
Ball.
Should take ball 1.
Just a freshman hitting behind the senior and Bri Ellis. What a big job. At times we've seen Courtney Day in that position, who now is hitting in the 6th spot in this lineup. But what Courtney Dipel said about Ella McDowell hitting behind Bri Ellis is she's been the answer for us. She is a gamer on defense. She's a playmaker. I think she loves hitting behind Bri Ellis.
Ball outside.
360 with a 927 OPS in the 14 games behind her. Was a back-to-back SEC Freshman of the Week. The first 2 weeks of April, weekend of March transferring into April, won the award April 1st and then April 8th. And she's late on this pitch. It's 2-2. McDowell's had a great run here down the stretch of SEC play to match Arkansas's great run. They won their last 6 series in league play after a 1-5 start. That's in the dirt. And a 3-2 count to McDowell.
And look, to hit behind a hitter like Bri Ellis, you need somebody that's not scared to see her walk and know that they want you. They don't want her. She's at first base. They want to go at you. They want to get you out instead.
A couple of hops to second. Routine for Ellison, and Randy Rolling works around that Bri Ellis walk.
But the best part about this story is no one told Bri they were going to do this. So she opens up her Twitter account one day and sees the billboard on her X machine, and she thought it was fake. She said, "I think this is AI." Sent it to her family. They then confirmed, "No, this is real. You need to go check it out." She has not checked it out quite yet, but she did tell me that she feels very appreciative of just the support for herself, but also the program, and it's a great testament for what this group is doing collectively, guys.
I can't believe, Taylor, she hasn't checked it out, and that's also the first time something good has ever followed the sentence, "I think this is AI."
Ball up high.
I'll tell you what I thought was AI is her on-base percentage.
Yes.
It's a number that almost looks fake. She also went on to tell me that she's most proud of that number, the way that she's been able to get on base, because it's a big testament to her team around her as well.
It's a 3-1. The 3-0 pitch for a strike from Peyton Burnham. Yeah, the numbers just don't seem real. You can look at them in any way. You can squint. You can put them from a distance and look through binoculars. You can run them through a computer simulator. They're real. They're outrageous. And we've heard about this incredible hitter, Jocelyn Allo, for years and years. Deservedly so. One of the best hitters in the history of college softball, the best home run hitter. This is 1 year for Bri Ellis, right? It's not 4, but it's a heck of a comparison, Amanda.
Yeah, it really is. And I just don't think that Bri Ellis is getting talked about enough. I mean, we talked about Jocelyn Allo, and rightfully so. consistently with feared hitters. She got so much attention, but me personally, I follow this sport very close. I just don't think that Bri Ellis is getting the attention that she should be getting this deep into the season with the numbers that she still put up.
Sarah Gordon fouls another one away. Anytime you do anything that's even in the realm of Jocelyn Alo, who rewrote what was possible in our sport, you deserve all the attention in the world. Down to third, that's foul from Gordon.
Well, and she's doing it in the toughest conference. I mean, nothing against the Big 12, but the Big 12 play was nothing compared to the level of play that the SEC is this year in particular. And I mean, even Arkansas played 4 top 10 opponents this year.
It's a slow ground ball to third, a nice play by Ella McDowell. As the nation's second best defense by fielding percentage, has a couple of gems so far. Bri Ellis is appreciative.
And Arkansas won all those series against the top 10 opponents that they faced in SEC play, by the way. So week in and week out, I mean, the level of pitching that Bri Ellis has seen this year in conference play is just at such a high level.
The Razorbacks have Peyton Burnham, the freshman in the circle here, against Lindy Ray Davis. A well-struck ball is going to turn foul. Tony Baldwin won't mind a little more aggressiveness from his senior designated player. 461 on base, 42 walks lead the team, but he'd like to see Lindy Ray Davis swing away a little bit more.
Ball, that's done.
Davis was 0 for 2, did have a walk last time. Tony Baldwin talks hitting in the dugout with another Bulldog. Looks like Marissa Miller. The senior from Calhoun, Georgia on 2-2. Will line one hard to the gap. That takes a low bounce off the wall, and Davis just rocketed that thing so hard she couldn't get to second.
This to me is a definition of a slashed ball. Look at Davis sit back on this drop ball in the outside corner. Beautiful swing, extension toward the left side of the field. Rio was playing in a shift. She was positioned perfectly, the shortstop for Arkansas. It just was too high for her to be able to reach. But man, that was a high exit velocity swing by the senior.
About 82 miles per hour off the bat. The softball standard, typically if you're around 70, that's pretty great. 82 the other way is outrageous from Lindy Ray Davis, who has the game's second hit. And a runner at first for Emily Digby, the Georgia shortstop. Digby pops it up. It's caught by the catcher, Kennedy Miller. You say the catcher Miller in this game, you've got a pretty good chance of getting it right. Kennedy for Arkansas, and here's Marissa Miller for Georgia. No relation as far as we know. Hit hard but foul by Marissa. And a base hit on Tuesday in the 8-0 Georgia win. Every one of her RBIs this year has come with 2 outs, but not here. 2 scoreless for Burnham. Wyckoff, Day, and Rijo. Big bats coming up for the Razorbacks. Ever to win the SEC tournament. Look at who the other one is. Georgia back in 2014. Chelsea Wilkinson, who's now the Bulldogs pitching coach, was the MVP that year as Georgia beat Kentucky. That was a matchup of the 5 and the 7 seeds in the tournament, which was even more unusual because only 10 teams made the SEC tournament in 2014. Now everybody makes it, all 15 teams, and there are 11 left. Left center field off the bat of Kaylee Wyckoff and tracked down by the Gold Glover Goodnight. She hasn't won one yet, but boy, is she capable. One of the nation's best defenders tracks it down.
She's so fast, got such a good read. This ball was smoked off of Wyckoff's bat, but she just tracked it down. Look at her in the air, almost doing the splits to reach and go up and grab it. This is her home field. She's very comfortable with it. What a play by Dallas Goodnight. Right off the bat, she was shaded more toward right center, had a long way to go because she wasn't just playing straight up. And that ball was hit very well.
71 off the bat and tracked down by one of the fastest players probably in the nation. We haven't measured them all, but when you get up around 21 miles per hour as Dallas Goodnight's been timed, you're one of the fastest players in the nation.
Ball outside.
And Kevin, it hasn't always been that way. When she first got to Georgia, the metric they used clocked her at about 18 miles an hour, but she decided to stay in Athens over the summer and specifically train her speed. She sprinted almost every day, and now you mentioned up around 21 miles an hour, so the fruits of that labor there.
This will be a little bit easier for her here at Taylor as she retires Courtney Day. Tony Baldwin had a fun, self-aware moment talking to us the other day. He said, I'd like for her to run more, and then he paused and said, of course I can control that. I would like to run her more. But 27 steals is nothing to spit at, and she goes and flags down everything in the outfield. Metrically one of the best defenders in the country.
Well, and it's something that Tony Baldwin focused on his first year taking over head coach, was changing the strength program focus to be more speed-based. With Brandon Hummer, their strength and conditioning coach. This team has gotten faster, known for their explosiveness and causing chaos on the base pass. Very athletic team.
So Randy Rolling with a strike to Italia Rijo, and Rolling is just one pitch away from getting out of what could be as little as an 8-pitch inning. And it will be an 8-pitch inning. Great pitching, great defense in a 1-2-3 second.
I don't know about you as a softball fan, but I love to see catches like this. Outies covering a ton of ground, and Dallas Goodnight does it again. The innings play out with Peyton Burnham, who got a hit off of her that was absolutely smoked off the bat of Davis down in the zone. And so the next two batters, she goes up with her rise ball to get 2 quick outs after that. So Davis hit the drop ball down. Georgia looking for something down, so she goes to that rise ball to jam them. And now starting off this hitter with a changeup. I want to see her throw that rise ball more and continue to jam hitters like that. You see what these Georgia hitters can do on a pitch down in the zone, like what Davis, the senior, did.
Facing Emma Castori. Down in the zone for the first two here. Courtney Deifel told us that Peyton Burnham trusts all her stuff, and when you trust any pitch in any count, makes you pretty tough to dig in on. Here she goes, up and in again. Another jam job for an out.
It's all about the pitch location. That rise ball is a pitch that she uses the most. Look at this location. I mean, that hurts your hands to hit. Good thing it's not a cold day. Your hands would really hurt, because when you hit it off of that part of your bat, it just does not feel good like the sweet spot.
Lowell Williams threw an off-speed pitch. That's the 10th straight strike thrown by Peyton Burnham. Freshman snapped an 0 for 16 yesterday and swings through another one in the dirt.
So going with that rise ball and then mixing in that changeup. I'm telling you, that changeup to me is so fun to watch out of her hand. She gets so many swings and misses on that pitch 3 times in a row.
It's her first ball thrown in 5 batters for the reigning Gatorade Player of the Year in the state of Oregon. Struck her out swinging. Why change if it ain't broke?
Yeah, why change the change? 4 times in a row going to the changeup, stuck with it. Courtney Deifel, the head coach for Arkansas, is also the pitching coach and the pitch caller. Always fun to try to get in their brains. Sometimes pitch callers won't call that pitch 3, 4 times in a row, but I love it. Look at how effective that was.
Ball.
Up and away with a rise to Goodnight. Why do you think 3, 4 changeups in a row works for Peyton?
Because it just falls off the table. Seems like it starts at a really good height and then it just drops.
Ball
almost like an
outside.
off-speed drop ball. But here's the thing now is like Courtney Deifel won't get too predictable with it. She just threw it 4 times in a row to Williams, and now a couple of hard pitches to start off this AB to Goodnight, and then goes to a changeup and a hitter's count, and she lays off.
Very high strike on 3-0. Delayed murmur through some of the fans here in Athens. 3-1 pitch. Right back to Burnham again. Goodnight has 2 hits, both of which have come to and off of the pitcher.
This one was actually, it looked like it was in her glove. Another changeup that Goodnight hits hard down into the ground and it just rolls off of her glove.
So an infield single for Goodnight, 4 for 5 here at the tournament. Now the last time Goodnight reached base, Tony Baldwin put her in motion as he said he wants to do more. And Tyler Ellison hit a line drive to Bree Ellis at first for a double play. Ellis into right field. That's a foul ball. It's hard to keep track of Dallas Goodnight. She is an absolute blur on the base paths. And we've seen her closing speed in the outfield, too.
She's already halfway to home.
Tyler Ellison this year, 359 with runners on base. Real breakout season after just 34 at-bats her first 2 years. There goes Goodnight, and it doesn't matter. The pitch was strike 3. Now she can keep running, but this inning is over. The Georgia crowd is telling her to go home. It's a strikeout. People are sprinting in from the base paths to point her home. This inning is over. It was fun to watch, but it's not going to count for anything.
Much ado about nothing. Strikeout, though, to end the inning.
The SEC has sent 11 teams or more to the tournament 10 straight years. Nobody else has sent 10. They're going to be sending, in all likelihood, 14 out of their 15 this season. Missouri is ineligible. They did not finish the season with a record of 500 or better, so the Tigers will be out. Everybody else should be in. Kentucky might be the only one that has to sweat a little, but even then, an RPI at 33, they shouldn't have to sweat too much.
Did anybody else notice that the top 3 finishers in the SEC all came from the Big 12? OU, Texas, Texas A&M. Back in my Big 12 days, bringing the conference over the SEC.
Carly Davison laces his ball to left, and Jaden Goodwin was perfectly positioned.
Some hard hit balls these last couple of innings, squared up, and you were right. Jaden Goodwin positioned perfectly over more toward the left field line. So Dallas Goodnight shows some range, and now the left fielder helping out her pitcher too.
75 off the bat of Davison, but nothing to show for it.
Ball inside, up and in.
Kennedy Miller had a really nice weekend for Arkansas. Down in the 9th spot where she's had a tough year at the plate. Was 4 for 8 against LSU with a homer, a walk, was hit by a pitch.
Ball.
Two 2-0 to Miller, who would certainly like to keep it away from left and center the way this game is going. Taylor, pretty good idea, right, to keep it away from Goodwin and Goodnight?
Yeah, it's a great idea, and I'm sure Sarah Gordon's over there in right field just saying, hey, when am I going to get one of those? I think Goodwin and Goodnight have a little bit more speed than Gordon, but she's over in right field just waiting her turn.
Yeah, we see it on full display, but I loved the embrace with Goodnight and Goodwin after the catch out in left field. And it was funny because Dallas told me Jaden's one of the funniest girls they've ever met. She goes, she's constantly making jokes. So during that embrace, I saw Goodnight have a big smile and laugh on her face. And so I'm sure there was something funny said after that catch. You can see it right here. So great catch. And then Dallas runs over, and there was something said right there. The two love playing outfield together, and that's what's so fun, is just seeing how much they enjoy that outfield together.
It's a pretty loose group, and why not? 8-0 win yesterday. SEC tournament on your home field. This one's not going to quite make it to either of them. It'll be Digby out from short. 2 up, 2 down for Randy Rolling in the 3rd.
First time through the order, Randy Rolling's just done a good job of getting outs. No strikeouts the first time through, but when we talked to Tony Baldwin before entering the tournament, he said that Randy Rolling is her best when she's commanding the ball. And I think this first time through the order, you've seen her do that. Not make too many mistakes. No, or just one free pass the first time through. Did get one strikeout on that changeup to Rijo, excuse me. Throwing her changeup there as well. But when she's commanding her pitches and around the zone, letting her defense make plays behind her, I don't think that she's going to be a pitcher that piles up a lot of strikeouts in a game.
Lily Backus, much more of a strikeout pitcher through yesterday. Rolling has 92 strikeouts to 81 walks on the year, so her strikeout to walk ratio is not far above 1-to-1, but just a 2.27 average against, and a 3.40 ERA coming into the game against stiff competition. So what's the approach for Arkansas the second time through?
Try to hit her a screwball, not mess with the changeup, not mess with the rise or the drop, but get something side to side. Her rise ball and her drop ball have been well out of the zone. Like, it's a good looking pitch right there to do something with. Georgia fans, home crowd, they like this call right here, right at the bottom of the zone. Like a curveball, a backdoor curveball, get in the bottom of the strike zone.
3-2 for Johnson, flailed out to Goodnight. Dallas and Jaden can share a laugh again if they so choose. Rolling with a no-hitter through 3.
No scores. We go to the top of the 4th. It is time to huddle up with Georgia head coach Tony Baldwin, brought to you by Regions. I want to begin with Rolling. What's made her so effective early?
Well, I think she's commanding all her pitches right now, and that's, you know, when she's around the strike zone and commanding her stuff, it has a really good tunnel, and it makes it hard on hitters.
Your outfielders' defense has been on full display early in this game. What makes them effective out there?
Well, Shorty and Dallas can just go, and they both got a knack for the ball, and they get good jumps, and, you know, they're just good ball players, and glad they're on our team.
Thank you, Coach. Kevin?
I would say they can just go, Taylor.
Definitely can just go, and they support each other too as they head toward the same direction, and one makes a catch, the other one is right there supporting the other one with a lot of laughs. I wish that we knew what they were laughing about exactly, but let's be honest, at this point in the season you have so many inside jokes and you've been through so much with your team, and about 50 games played, you're pretty much laughing at everything.
And Goodwin wastes no time slapping this first pitch to short, and she is retired by Rijo. So Jaden Goodwin doesn't like to hang around up there. She's seen 3 pitches and she's 0 for 2. Dallas Goodnight with 2 of the game's 3 hits. Georgia has all 3, but still no score in this second round game. And Peyton Burnham with a strike to Sarah Gordon. Gordon rolled over to third to end a 9-pitch at bat. Her first time up. Right back to the circle. That's the best offense for Georgia. Just push it back to Peyton.
I don't know. Just can't seem to squeeze it. It bounces off of her glove, almost like it's a new glove that's not broken in, and she just can't squeeze around it. 3 times now. She's like, what is happening with my glove? We're in May now. I should be able to have this broken in and catch the ground balls.
Let's reset. Everybody reset. Here we go. Play.
Strike to Lindy Ray Davis. Arkansas, the best fielding team in the country besides FAU by fielding percentage. And it's a nice job by Davison on a play that could have gone awry here. Get the 4-6 fielder's choice and a hot shot from Davis, who has smoked the ball twice. So Emily Digby will bat for the second time. The Georgia shortstop has started every game but one this year. Tony Baldwin last year called her the best .230 hitter in the league, that nobody gets more production out of her hits than Emily does. She ended up a little above that at .243. The average is way up. The slugging well down. She's lost a lot of power this year, but she's playing shortstop. She was their first baseman last year, so she's had to move over to a real premium defensive position.
Well, speaking of position, you see the position that Tony Baldwin likes to sit in now, or stand in, I should say, in the dugout. Previous years, he had been the third base coach, and this year decided to move into the dugout to be able to talk to the on-deck hitter, to be able to be closer to the hitter that is actually hitting. He's their hitting coach, their biggest cheerleader right there in the corner of the dugout. Mike Davenport is now the third base coach, his first year here, a couple of national championships at the D2 level.
Ball inside.
There's a walk for Digby. And for the first time today, Georgia has 2 runners on at the same time. Burnham's first walk of the game. And now Tony Baldwin's going to bring in a pinch runner for Davis at second. It will be Molly Mitchell who takes over at second base. Remember, Mitchell was thrown out at the plate yesterday from second base, trying to score on a base hit. Dogs are hoping they could get her home to break this 4th inning tie, about halfway through here in this second round game. Strike 1 to Marissa Miller. Time called here by Kennedy Miller. I don't think Burnham was going to get the pitch off in time before the expiration of the clock. Way upstairs for ball 1. Where are you looking here if you're Marissa Miller?
I'd look for that changeup. But a lot of it depends, too, on what she feels like is her strength and what she wants, if she likes to hit changeups as well. But that's what I would do. Now you're going to get something down in the zone. Burnham's throwing that changeup a lot. Think about getting her barrel down and under that pitch, but now she finds herself in a hitter's count.
Great two-out hitter, Marissa Miller. To right field, that's down for a hit. Wyckoff's throw will be to the center of the infield. And Marissa Miller with another two-out knock gives Georgia the game's first run.
And it was the changeup. Didn't get the top of it, thought about getting her barrel underneath this pitch, and it turned into a line drive. On time with that changeup, looking for it in a hitter's count. And Marissa Miller from the 7-hole, able to push across the first run of the game off of the freshman, squares that pitch up. Line drive to the right side. What a good piece of hitting by Marissa Miller.
All of Marissa Miller's 18 RBIs this year have come with two outs. She is 19 for 42, 452 in those spots. Now Emma Castori will bat as Georgia's broken the ice, and Kennedy Miller's going to try to settle down her pitcher.
Robin Heron in the bullpen warming up, the lefty, the ace on staff.
How close do you think they are to making a switch?
I think pretty close.
2-0 change up first strike. You have the 9-hitter Williams on deck. Then it would be the top of the order and the lefty Goodnight.
In the box by 10. In the box by 10.
And maybe that's why Heron's warming, in case it gets that far. 2-1 to Castori, only her 4th start at first base this year.
Yes.
She shows a bunt with 2 outs, and now Georgia runs itself out of the inning. They're trying a 2-out bunt, and Digby gets caught between third and home.
Trying to catch him sleeping, and Arkansas said not so fast. Missed the contact with the bunt, and Arkansas quickly gets that out with 1 throw.
Effective getting on base.
Well, she just has a really good mentality about what they're going to give her. So she's ready when the ball shows up, and she also knows whenever she gets on base by walking, it helps us. And she trusts her teammates behind her to drive her in. So it's just she's really level, really balanced with it all.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Kevin?
Taylor, thank you. Bri Ellis is the only Arkansas base runner of the game with a walk. The best OPS on base plus slugging in Division I in 15 years, says an otherworldly season from Georgia Tech's Jen Yee in 2010. And Bri's going to bat after Reagan Kramer and before Ellen McDowell, with Arkansas trailing by a run here in the 4th. How nice it must be to be the hitter in front of Bri Ellis. Reagan Kramer has been much of the year, to the tune of a .479 on base percentage. She fouls the first pitch away. Arkansas, 3rd highest scoring team in SEC games this year. Nearly 6 runs a game, nearly 8 runs a game overall. 8th highest scoring in the country.
Ball outside.
And just the presence of Bri Ellis has made this lineup better. Courtney Deifel knows all about that. When she was a player, she hit behind Veronica Nelson, one of the great hitters of her time. And Courtney was a wonderful player too, All-American at Cal.
Dead ball right here. Foul.
Well, we asked Courtney about the way teams approach Bri Ellis and the batters around her, and she said, look, I hit right behind Veronica Nelson. I would have thrown to me too.
And we're talking about a player in Veronica Nelson that had over 100 walks in 1 season.
Bree's at 57 walks now. We're on base around 660. Waiting for Reagan Kramer in a 2-2 with Randy Rolling. Kramer fouls it away. Here's your comparison. Veronica Nelson, 107 walks in 2003, so got on base more. The slugging percentage way higher. Of course, home runs then weren't what home runs in power are now, but it's another lofty head-to-head. Kramer to right center field, fading fast, but not fast enough for the closing speed of Goodnight.
I asked Bri Ellis the best piece of hitting advice she's ever gotten, and she said to not try to make the moment happen, but to let the moment happen. Just relax and stick to the plan. So basically, when she goes up there, she sticks to her approach, does not expand outside of that, and the results have certainly been there. So there you go. If you're looking for some hitting advice, just listen to Bri Ellis.
Yeah, she actually keeps a note in her phone that she's been keeping since she was a younger player. As it looks like she's going to get walked again in this at bat, but she keeps a note in her phone of just phrases and things that help her hit and get her into a really good hitting mind space. And somebody that she really looked up to and learned a lot from was Casey Jackson, her hitting coach with Impact Gold on her travel ball team.
Did she learn how to deal with this? Miller is literally set up in the middle of the left-handed batter's box. Just spike it into the dirt and roll it there. Make it more entertaining. No green light on 3-0. So Randy Rolling has retired every batter in this game except for Bri Ellis, who has seen 8 pitches, and the 8 pitches have been basically thrown down the middle of the 13th at Augusta.
Bri Ellis actually told me about a story from the SEC tournament last year where Arkansas was playing Missouri, and later in the game she came up with runners on base, a full count, and you could tell, she told me, that they were trying to throw around her and not give her anything to hit.
Ball inside.
She wanted to hit the ball so badly, get the job done so badly for her team, that she swung out of her shoes and ended up striking out on a ball that was just not even close to the strike zone, and they weren't even trying to throw to her. And she said that that was the moment that she realized, I have to be able to take my walks and trust my teammates, and in her words say, chill out. I have to tell myself to chill out. They're probably trying to walk me and put me on base, but it helps to have people behind me that can step up and get the big hit even when I can't.
And that's one of the things Courtney Deifel appreciates. He told us that Bri Ellis doesn't think it all falls on her, and she knows how much it benefits her to just be on base. She's on base here for McDowell. Arkansas trailing by a run in the 4th. And McDowell takes one tight. So Rolling, after intentionally throwing 4 balls out of the zone, is starting to see her control dip.
It would be a tough decision for me if I was Courtney Deifel for who I'd want to put behind Bri Ellis. I love Ella McDowell, her competitive mindset. She's a gamer. But I think I would want Courtney Day still in that position with the double-digit home runs. Because why teams are pitching around Bri is because they don't want her to hit the long ball. So Ella McDowell just has 7 home runs. Courtney Day has 15, and she has the experience. She's in the hole right now waiting for her at bat, coming up in a couple of hitters. But I think if that were me, I would still want Courtney Day behind Bri Ellis with those home run numbers.
And McDowell goes down looking.
And you see how amped up Randy Rolling is after this strikeout with her curveball right at the knees. They want to throw to Ella McDowell. They don't want anything to do with Bri Ellis, but I really think if that was me, and look, nobody knows their team better than Courtney Deifel and her coaching staff, and they're just looking over all the numbers, but just looking at the home run numbers, pitching against a home run hitter like Courtney Day after Bri Ellis, I would be a little less inclined maybe to just intentionally walk her like they are every time.
Courtney Deifel's going to call her offense together on this visit to the circle from Georgia. Courtney Day did hit behind Ellis for much of the year, starting in mid-February, going all the way through the end of March and the beginning of April. And Ella McDowell first moved behind Bri Ellis. The middle game of, or the third game, should say, of the Florida series. Kaylee Wyckoff moved behind her for the middle game in a day that Courtney Day didn't play. They didn't play for a couple of games, came back and has been 5 or 6 hitter ever since. And it's Wyckoff, the number 5 hitter here. Only 2 base runners in the game, both Bri Ellis walks. Wyckoff's had a wonderful year too. Team high 14 doubles. He's been on base 44 out of 49 games. And a huge series against LSU over the weekend. There's a strike, 2-1. Two strikeouts, 2 walks, no hits in the game against Randy Rowley. And a ground ball to first will end the scoreless 4th. Georgia pitches around Ellis again, and they get out of 4 no-hit innings. Afternoon for Georgia's let's try that again. Great afternoon for Georgia's alliteratively named players. Nailed it. Marissa Miller with an RBI single. Randy Rowling with 4 no-hit innings and a 1-0 lead for the Dogs as Robin Herron takes over the circle. Her 8th relief appearance of the year. Herron, who's been the ace of Arkansas staff for a couple of years, faces 8-9-1 in the Georgia lineup.
Really like the way that Robin Herron has thrown this year in her junior year. A lot of determination from that left-hand side with her curveball and her changeup.
There are the season numbers: 2.52 ERA, 187 in relief in 15 innings. And that's a nasty strike two to Castori. Peyton Burnham, 4 innings, 5 hits, a walk, 2 strikeouts in the earned run against. And now Herron, a completely different look as she torches Castori in the dirt.
Getting a change-up strikeout in the dirt. That's one of her best swing and miss pitches. She'll go to her rise ball the most at about 33%. She could throw that pitch on all different levels, followed by that curveball, as well as her drop. That changeup, though, is a great pitch for her. She will get about a 56% whiff rate with her changeup.
Pinch hitter for Georgia, Hannah Davila, will bat for Moa Williams. Not going to waste any time. See ball, hit ball. Davila with the first pitch, pinch hit.
With Robin Herron, one of the biggest pitches that she's developed this season is with her backdoor curveball as well as her changeup. Each year, her freshman and her sophomore year, she told me that she had gotten more and more confident with it. And last year, Courtney Deichel told her, look, we have to nail that pitch down. We have to nail down that changeup pitch to be able to throw it in any count and any level. And she's really been a difference maker for her this year.
Well, now she gets the top of the order, and Goodnight, who had 2 singles, both out of the glove of Burnham. 3 infield hits to Burnham in the game. Swing, a miss, it's strike 1.
Georgia's going to have to see the ball down out of Herron's hand, because even that curveball can have a tendency to have a little bit of rise ball behind it too.
That's a bunt, and it's fouled away for strike 2.
Saw a post-game interview with Robin Herron. I think it was maybe after the LSU series, past couple of weeks, but she had mentioned how she gets so locked in to her catcher and the pitch calling that she doesn't even know half the time who is hitting against her, who's in the box. She's the type of pitcher, Courtney Deifel had said, that whatever Courtney calls, she sees the numbers and she's going to throw. Has so much trust in what Coach Deifel calls with their pitch calling. Not oftentimes going to shake her off and think about who the hitter is and put that in her head. She's just almost like a robot out there to execute pitches.
The 3-2 here is bounced to second for a force out. Goodnight replaces Davila. So here's Ellison with 2 down. Goodnight, great runner at first. Here goes Goodnight, and she is safe. The throw not caught anyway. Dallas Goodnight with her 28th steal of the year.
That's all about her first step, too. Look at how fast she gets to her quickest speed. Does not take her much time at all. And as a good base stealer, want to get up to that fastest speed as quickly as possible. It really takes her no time at all.
Runner at second now. And a 1-1 count on Ellison. Goodnight has swiped a bag each game here at the tournament. Stole a base in the first inning yesterday in Georgia's 8-0 win. They still haven't allowed a run here in 9 innings on their home field. There's a strike with that changeup to Ellison, 1-2. Lined out to first, struck out looking in the game. 1-2 pitch. Way upstairs. The big bat of Goodwin waiting. The Dogs try to double the lead. Another one in the dirt. Kennedy Miller has been all over these changeups. Big 3-2 pitch here. It's a strike. Just zipped it in there at 69 to end the inning.
Robin Herron painting the outside corner, backdoor curveball right at the knees. Herron, the ace, enter this game, and she's dealing.
They're ready. They've got giant T-Mobile hats. Best way to loosen up for a game. That ball's lasered foul. Courtney Day leads off in the Arkansas 5th inning. And here's this Razorbacks team, Amanda, with the best hitter in the country. 3rd highest scoring team in the SEC. 6 straight SEC Series 1. And Randy Rolling has held them hitless through 4 innings.
I just think she's done a really good job of mixing the ball around. And Coach Tony Baldwin will always fall back on just her being able to command her pitches, meaning be around the strike zone with all of her pitches she likes to throw. Her drop ball, her rise, screw, and her changeup. Throwing that changeup, not a ton, but just enough to be able to put it in the back of their minds. And they've squared up a lot of balls, mind you, that the outfielders have been positioned well for Georgia and been able to track them down. I think that the mindset in the Arkansas lineup right now would be just keep swinging, making some good contact, and eventually hope it will fall.
They flat out to center her first time. A big time hitter. Swings and misses 2-2. We have Georgia, which in league play was the 3rd worst team by fielding percentage. Arkansas was the best, and yet it's been the Georgia defense with the upper hand today. Arkansas with some tough plays from their starter Burnham on ground balls that, as Courtney Teifel said, she just didn't squeeze. And the Dogs have been flawless in the field. They needed to be because Rawlings only struck out those 2 batters. Facing Day, Rijo, and Davison, 6, 7, and 8. 2-2 today is not close.
One thing that Tony told us is that when they had their bye weekend, meaning that they had a weekend that was out of SEC play, Chelsea Wilkinson, the pitching coach, worked with Randy Rolling to be able to change some things in her mechanics and in her delivery, and it seemed to have improved her timing and added velocity, and her pitches became more consistent with that mechanical tweak mid-season.
Day drills this ball to left field. A long home run to tie the score. Courtney Day has hit home runs on the biggest stages in softball. And here at the SEC tournament, she unloads to smash the no-hitter and the shutout.
And this, to me, is why Courtney Day needs to be hitting behind Bree Ellis. She can punish pitches. Randy Rolling got away with a pitch. It was a swing and miss by Courtney Day that she just, I don't know, she just swung and missed through it, but it was a mistake over the heart of the plate. Randy Rolling goes back to that drop ball. It's up, it's meaty, it's a mistake, and a Courtney Day hitter who has so much experience and power is going to make you pay. She's not going to make the same mistake twice in an AB, and that's why I would love to see her hit behind Bree Ellis.
And that ball made it to the training facility on the fly. Home run number 16 for Courtney Day, who's knocked in 62. That's tied for 3rd most in Arkansas history. That ball traveled a projected 258 feet. And a 1-1 tie here in Athens on a mighty swing by Courtney Day.
Just a no-doubter.
She and Bree Ellis entering the week combined for more RBIs than 24 Division I teams. That's those 2 over entire teams as Rio crowds out to second.
Well, you'll notice that after the big home run by Courtney Day, her Arkansas teammates were at home plate, and they were greeting her with hang loose signs. It's something that has been synonymous with this team all season. You can see them there enjoying it. It started after this team's slow start in SEC play. And one day in practice, they got together and said, we just need to relax, trust the process. So they came up with that hand sign of hang loose, everything's going to be okay, and it's something they've carried with them throughout the rest of the season. Just relax. It's going to be okay, Kevin.
Are you telling that to me specifically? You think I'm not relaxed up here?
I don't know. Amanda didn't look very relaxed on that pop-up ball last game.
She looked too relaxed was the problem. That's great stuff. And look, Courtney Day, I mean, what a journey it's been for her. She's going to hang loose because she was out of softball for years. She's thrilled to just be back here and contributing. Didn't play a season ago. Was at Texas. We mentioned the biggest stage. She hit softball, and she had home runs in the World Series for Texas, which made it to the Champ Series a few years ago. Went to Ole Miss, did not play, had some injury concerns, ended up taking a coaching and teaching job at a high school in Texas, Tarkington High School in Cleveland, Texas. And a foul ground. Davison will pop out through the 3rd baseman Williams.
Had to have been a turning point for Arkansas, is just to hang loose and to play free, because their SEC season did not start out strong. Up against Ole Miss, and they did not look good when they got swept at home against Oklahoma, which, look, Oklahoma is a great team, but Arkansas did not play the way that they ended up playing later on in April and in May. And it was the weekend after the Oklahoma series they got swept that they went on the road to Knoxville and took 2 of 3 from Tennessee and Carlin Pickens. And that, to me, was a turning point in the Arkansas season. Not easy to do at all, to face that Tennessee team in their home stadium and face the SEC pitcher of the year in Carlin Pickens. But they went in there, grabbed 2, and have not looked back since.
That first series win, they snapped Tennessee's 11-series home win streak. They won 5 in a row since. Arkansas has 4 wins this year against a team that was ranked 2nd in the country, 2 at Florida, 2 at A&M. So this may be as well-positioned a team as Courtney Deifel's had to make it to the World Series. It's the one thing left for Arkansas, which has won the regular season twice under Courtney Deifel, won the SEC tournament 3 years ago, but they haven't broken through to OKC. And in fact, 3 years ago, they lost at home to that unseeded Texas team, which featured Courtney Day. Rolled in there and stunned the Razorbacks on their way to the World Series.
It's a really good full circle moment.
Her home runs tie the game now 3 years later. And Kennedy Miller puts the ball into left field just over the leaping Digby for Arkansas's 2nd hit of the game and the inning.
Another squared up ball, this time off of the 9-hole. Marissa Miller, another pitch that's over the heart of the plate, a very crushable pitch that's more up in the zone. That pitch that was about knee height is now up about thigh height, and that 1-ball, 2-ball difference is the difference between a ground ball or a lazy pop-up and a hard hit line drive.
Third at bat for Johnson.
Hey.
Lily Backus has been throwing on and off here in the 5th inning, yesterday's starter. As Rolling moves into the 3rd time through against the Razorbacks. And a strike as Johnson didn't get the bat back, 0-2.
3rd time through the order. They're going to see how Arkansas approaches her and if Rolling can make it through this inning.
Ball.
'90th pitch of the game from Rolling. Reagan Johnson slaps it out of play.
I'm good. I'm all right. Yep.
Bobby DeMayo's okay.
I like the communication from Bobby DeMayo today, even being aware of the action clock time and that the fact that the hitter has to be back in the box at 10 seconds. He gives them a heads up. Hey, 10 seconds is coming.
Johnson slaps one to 3rd. That'll end the inning. No, it won't. Castori was, in the estimation of Chelsea Clark, not on the base when she caught that throw. Tony Baldwin says, time for a challenge.
You could tell she said, I was on it, I think.
The ruling on the field is safe at first base. Georgia is challenging that ruling. The play is under review.
I think she gets her foot back just in the nick of time. It wasn't pretty footwork by any means, and that's what a slapper is going to do to a defense. It's just speed you up and cause you to make uncharacteristic mistakes, especially with your own footwork, to try to speed up to get them. There's the command center in Birmingham, where they're going to take a look at the replay.
I'm not sure the right foot was on. I think that's what Chelsea Clark saw, but the left foot looked like it snuck in first. So this should end the inning. Chelsea Clark, our first base umpire and crew chief, has the review here. Call on the field is safe.
The left foot of the first baseman did get on the base before the runner out. That is Georgia's first challenge.
Tony was already out of the dugout. He knew it was going to happen. But this happened to tie the game first.
It's amazing to think she took a year off of softball, and now she's hitting home runs, tying up the game in her first year playing in the SEC tournament.
Hanging loose.
loose. I'm interested to see how that Courtney Day bomb is going to translate to the rest of that team.
I want to see if Kevin's going to get in the hot tub at some point, or the cold tub.
Hang loose.
Yeah, both. Why limit yourself, you know?
Every 2
Wait on the
minutes.
TikTok, you know. A lot of things we're waiting on, Kevin.
TikTok still hasn't happened, but we're considering it. My team and I are strongly considering it. In the air to left field from Jaden Goodwin here. And that's retired by Reagan Kramer. So here's Robin Herron in a 1-1 game in relief. Heart of the order. She gets through Goodwin, who has been neutralized. Seen just 5 pitches in an 0-for-3 night, Jaden Goodwin, after the two-run hits yesterday. Who's going to pick up the offense for Georgia? Maybe Sarah Gordon. Didn't look like it. And to right field for Wyckoff. 3 pitches and 2 outs for Robin Herron.
I love that when you're in the circle and your team just grabbed a little momentum, a couple of quick outs.
Lindy Ray Davis sizzled a couple of balls off of Peyton Burnham. And left on left just gets a piece of this first pitch from Herron.
And one thing that we've learned about Lindy Ray Davis is that just seems like when the pitching gets better and you go deeper into the season, she's the type of hitter that comes up with the clutch hits. So crushed that ball in the second inning. Indecisive swing on a changeup, but Lindy Ray Davis has proven in her Georgia career she's had some clutch swings in moments.
Tony Baldwin told us she's had maybe the best swings of anybody in the Super Regionals the last couple of years. A fly ball to left here. Robin Herron, 6 pitches, 6 strikes, 3 outs. Bree Ellis due up second in this 1-1 tie.
That same inning.
Bree Ellis is lurking. Whether she gets anything to pitch, it's probably dependent on Reagan Kramer here. If she can get on base. Ellis has seen 8 pitches. None of them have been close. And Randy Rolling has been mostly masterful in a 1-1 game. The Georgia lefty. Their most starts this year. Lily Backus has thrown a few more innings, but Rolling has matched Backus with both pitching to a 3.40 ERA into the game. Her first year with Georgia, coming over from Cal, where she had a 3.16 ERA in the pack last year. Out of Modesto, California, and thriving here in the Southeast. Rolling's 1-1 to Kramer is very high. Remember, Reagan Kramer is a walk machine. Had 4 walks in a row in a game at Tennessee earlier this year. And a team high 40 to only 15 strikeouts. 2-2.
Oh, with good velocity too today. 64, 65, 66 that we've seen from Rolling, and had her pinned down earlier in the year between 62 and 64. But with those delivery and mechanical changes that they made in their bye week, it's given her a little extra velocity.
Is it unusual to make that significant of a change this deep into the year?
That doesn't necessarily have to be a big change. It can be a small delivery, mechanical tweak that can make a big difference.
Sure. The 3-2 is high, and that is a pitch that may make a big difference. So Bree Ellis will bat with a runner on. We'll see if that changes this ridiculous ratio. 12 walks in her last 15 plate appearances, including 10 at LSU over the weekend. Would you pitch to her, Amanda, in this spot?
Yeah. I mean, the competitiveness in me, yes, but the smart part is a no. She gets hit by a pitch because the ball was fully in the box, as you hear Bobby DeMeo say. back elbow that hurts so bad. And think about it too, they were gonna at least pitch to her differently if they're gonna pitch around her, because 8 balls prior to what she had seen had all been outside in the left-handed batter's box, with Marissa Miller setting up about 5 feet outside.
Unsurprisingly, she also leads the team in times hit by a pitch. That's 10, because people are so careful around her. So past the front elbow guard to the exposed back elbow, and Arkansas has 2 runners on for the first time. A walk and a hit batter. And here's Ella McDowell, the cleanup hitter. She does not have a sac bunt this season. Georgia's expecting it. They're not going to get it.
I would let her swing away. I think that you have her hitting behind Bri Ellis for a reason, because of the way that she is a gamer, how competitive that she is. Courtney Deifel has her there in the 4 spot behind Ellis. She wants her to swing it.
Well, now she shows it, and she still doesn't have a sac bunt on the year. So now the bunt almost assuredly off to the cleanup hitting freshman, who takes ball 1. A tantalizer.
Almost falling over her toes over the plate. Just seeing that pitch come so close to being a strike, taking it, and living on to see another pitch.
1-2 to third, caught on the fly, and then airmailed into right field. An errant throw is going to put runners at second and third. Moore Williams had a double play right in her sight, and the throw for Ellison was too tall.
Moore Williams has played a good third base too. She can cover a lot of area, playing the hot corner, but just airmails the throw, kind of forces it, guides it, tries to make it too perfect, and also just trying to throw around Kramer diving into second base, not wanting to hit her. So that plays in the back of your mind when you're making a throw like that, not to hit the runner when you're making the throw to 2.
Her 7th error of the year, and Arkansas has the go-ahead run at third with 1 out. And Kaylee Wyckoff, the former Big 12 Freshman of the Year, at the plate. The junior from Texas Tech on 0-1. She gets hit.
Dead ball. Come back here.
Or no, she doesn't. Bobby DeMayo literally just said, come back here. Courtney Deifel's asking about it. Is it a foul ball? Is it a hit by pitch that was over the plate? That's what Courtney's getting the explanation from right now. Bobby DeMayo.
Looked to me like when he was moving his elbow, saying she may have moved into the pitch.
It certainly hit her.
To me, it doesn't look like she's purposefully moving into the pitch. She's just starting her hands over her swing.
Come back here. Come back here. Come back here. Come back here.
It's like every angry dad.
Ruling on the field is that the pitch location was in the batter's box, and the batter made an attempt to get hit by the pitch. Therefore, by rule, she stays at bat. That play is under further review.
It's like when you're trying to leave the table, but you still have your veggies. Come back here. Come back here. But we appreciate the vocal nature of Bobby DeMayo, who's been right on it on the mic during the game.
He's been very communicative.
Yes.
Remember, as a hitter, if the ball is fully in the batter's box, you don't have to make an attempt to move out of the way. But you can't move into it if the pitch is in the river.
So the question is that fully in the batter's box?
It's hard to tell because we're a little bit off angle, right? But I do think that there's a little reason to believe that it wasn't fully in the batter's box, but it's hard to tell with the angle.
After review, the call in the field is upheld. The count is 1-1.
And it is a ball. It's a dead ball, but it's ball 1 because the pitch would not have been a strike. So Arkansas loses the challenge. They lose the potential base runner, and it's 1-1. Second and third one out in a 1-1 game. Kaylee Wyckoff, 342 hitter, 429 on base percentage, trying to come through left on left. Wyckoff grounds it foul. Right at the start of the season, Arkansas's 5th game, she had a game-tying hit against San Diego down to their final strike. Been in big moments all year long. The home run hitter from an inning ago is looming. Kramer at third, Ellis at second. 1-2 pitch is taken for strike 3.
Randy Rolling is so competitive. She wants the ball. She's out there fighting, competing every pitch, gets the strike call on the outside corner, just stuck by Marissa Miller, who just doesn't move an inch and gets that pitch called.
You gonna put Courtney Day on here?
I would.
And so would Georgia.
Ball.
No reason to risk this.
And that's why that Wyckoff at bat was so big, because if she would have gotten hit by a pitch, first base would be occupied and you would have had to have thrown to Courtney Day.
Ball.
So this 6th inning is going to be in the hands of Italia Rijo once this walk is completed.
Ball.
It'll be the second or third, depending on the first Ellis walk that's basically intentional today. It's the 4th walk of the game.
Ball.
And it's bases loaded, 2 out. The junior from Horseheads, New York, Italia Rijo, who redshirted last year, missed all but 9 games because of a shoulder injury. And she is one of Courtney Deifel's favorite players. And she has a chance to be Courtney Deifel's singular favorite player right now after a visit to the circle from Chelsea Wilkerson. Remember, the only time Georgia won the SEC tournament, Chelsea Wilkinson was the MVP of the tournament that year. She's the pitching coach now. Georgia has a little infield meeting as well. Courtney Deifel brings in the hitters and the base runners for a conversation. And here we go.
Had some close games here at the SEC tournament. Little 1-run games yesterday.
Reagan Kramer is 60 feet away from giving Arkansas the lead.
Ball, that's down.
That ball pops out of the glove of Miller, and Kramer hesitated. And she stays at third.
I think it's really easy to overlook Rio in the bottom of this order for Arkansas because there's so many other big hitters, but I always love her at bats.
Ball outside.
There's something about her. She's not flashy. She's smooth. She's confident. When she steps into the box, you can tell that she's calm.
Had a grand slam earlier this year against Missouri. Strike 1 from Rolling, who is fired up as if it's strike 3. Rio 3 for 10, 3 walks with the bases loaded this year and the 1 grand slam. Tie game in the 6th, and a ground ball chopped off the glove of the first baseman Kasturi, and the Ellison gets Georgia out of the inning. Some pinball wizardry right to the second baseman Ellison to extinguish the threat.
And this is why you always move toward the ball. Tyler Ellison moving toward the right side of the field off of the bounce of the glove for the bang, bang out that Georgia is fired up.
Tournament on the SEC Network, presented by T-Mobile 5G Home Internet. Up for grabs here in Game 2, thanks to this 3-4-3 ground out. Off the glove of Castori, Ellison, Castori, inning over. Arkansas left them loaded.
Well, really fired up this team, too. And you heard the crowd get loud. They're on their home field. It just felt like that really had the potential to be a turning point for Georgia in this game.
6, 7, and 8. Batting here for Georgia. Emily Digby over to short. Rio plays the hop cleanly. Robin Herron's been terrific in relief. Two and a third innings. She's allowed just a single to the pinch hitter Hannah Davila, nothing else. Peyton Burnham, 4 innings, 5 hits, an earned run, a walk, struck out 2. And now Miller, who has the game's only RBI for Georgia, takes a strike. Georgia, the second youngest team in the SEC, 11 of 20 players, freshmen or sophomores. Miller, a junior, they didn't play much last year. The top of this lineup, very experienced. The bottom of the lineup, not so much. This is a team that's been so close to so many big wins. 0-6 in rubber games. They lost every one of their 8 SEC series. And yet they're trying to win their first 2 games here at the SEC tournament. The last time Georgia won multiple games at the tournament was 2014 when they won the title. They've lost the opener 5 times since. They've lost their second game the other 3. Miller up the middle. Rio gloves it, and from her knees throws her out. Italia Rio with a sparkler.
Rio has been positioned up the middle of the field the whole game, but she actually wasn't for this play, but got a really good read where she got there so quickly. You thought she only took a couple of steps, showed off her range, threw from her knees, the stretch by Ellis. What a play by Rio.
Her name is Rio, and she slides across the sand here in the 7th inning. Couldn't bring in the run in the bottom of the 6th, but saved a base hit there. And Georgia pinch hits Paisley Allen for Castori. Bottom of the 7th, it'll be Davison, Miller, Johnson. 8-9-1 due up for the Razorbacks. Briella's 5th due up in the inning. Herron trying to get it there in a tie. Brittany Deifel's team, the SEC tournament champions 3 years ago. They've been one and done since. Lost to Bama 2 years ago, 3-2-9. Missouri 3-1 last year. It was not a good weekend for Robin Herron. Gave up 9 runs, 7 earned, and 7 2/3. Walked 10 against LSU. But she's been way better today. And she will take this game into the bottom of the 7th with Arkansas needing 1 to walk it off.
The 2025 SEC Softball Tournament on the SEC Network is presented by T-Mobile 5G Home Internet.
Internets. Kevin Brown, Amanda Scarborough, Taylor McGregor, our SEC Network crew. It's been a wonderful tournament so far. This has a chance to be our most epic ending in the first 5 games. 1-1 Georgia and Arkansas. And a first pitch swing from Carly Davison. Lifted out to left. And an easy catch for Jaden Goodwin. This is how the 6th inning ended as Arkansas left them loaded.
Yeah, after basically an intentional walk to Courtney Day to put her on first, it loaded the bases, and off of Rio's bat, Georgia got the perfect bounce to Tyler Ellison. And loved Emma Castor to still finish off that play. She got all kinds of love and hype from Randy Rolling. A lot of emotion after that play. Georgia want to win this game on their home field.
The Dogs are technically the visiting team because they're the worst seed, but they are playing here at Jack Turner Softball Stadium. 2nd time hosting the SEC tournament. A ball upstairs to Kennedy Miller, Arkansas catcher who has one of just 2 hits for the Razorbacks today. Randy Rolling has been outstanding through 6 1/3. Walked 4, struck out 3, scattered 2 hits. Miller checks her swing on a ball that bounces foul.
This is just not an easy offense to hold down, especially 3 times through the order now. They've seen her, the leadoff hitter, Reagan Johnson, is on deck, so 4th time coming through. And she's just continuing to mix her pitches. Has not made a lot of mistakes. In fact, the only ones that I recall is back in the 5th inning with that home run. A couple of pitches actually in that at bat to Courtney Day, including the home run that she hit out. But she's just not missed a lot.
She had walked 5 or more in 4 consecutive starts coming in. She has walked 4 today. Miller pops up this 3-1. It'll get into the seats.
Well, and the hard hit balls that Arkansas had hit had been caught by the outfielders of Georgia, who were able to cover a lot of ground. And so they're squaring things up right at people. The hit's not falling. And then you know how this can go in our sport. You start to press a little bit as the game goes on, thinking that you have to do something different, when really you just keep doing the same thing and eventually it'll fall, like off the bat of Courtney Day.
11th 3-ball count of the game. She's walked 4, given up 2 hits. Miller ropes it to left field. That's over the glove of Goodwin. And Miller pumps the brakes at first. All the way to the left field wall. She's held to a single, but the Razorbacks have the winning run on.
A couple of hits from the 9-hole by Marissa Miller, who gets her barrel to this inside pitch, just out in front. You see, though, where Jaden Goodwin is in left field. You can't even see her off the screen because she's so far up against the left field line, and that opened up the hole in left center field because she is playing so close to the left field line. Not saying that she would have caught it necessarily, but even a couple of steps more toward left center where a left fielder is just normally positioned could have helped her.
Ava Carter will replace Kennedy Miller, who has, out of the 9-hole, 2 of the 3 hits for Arkansas. So Carter is the winning run. Johnson, then Kramer.
Ball down.
So you have 2 hitters that get on base a lot. Not a ton of power until you get to Ellis, but Arkansas will see if one of their 2 Reagans at the top can end the game. Johnson 0 for 3. Here's the bunt. It's laid down to first, and Castori got eaten up by the dirt monster. So the Razorbacks have the winning run at second and 2 on with only 1 out.
Unfortunately, I think she may have rolled her ankle on this play with the way that she got up. Yeah, her almost like a toe pick and ice skating. The top of her toe gets stuck. She rolls her ankle and just falls to the ground. This does not feel good. Everything that Reagan Johnson needed to go right in that play for her did.
This is only Emma Castori's 4th start of the season at first base. They've all come in the course of the last week. And the sophomore, walking gingerly, will walk off the field. It was a great bump by Johnson, too. Would not have been an easy play. And Georgia will make a first base substitution here as Castori leaves the game. Esther White is the new first baseman. White had started 28 games at first this year. Well, she's been the primary first baseman for Georgia this year. And White will get a couple of warm-up catches and throws here with her pitcher, Randy Rolling.
That first one, Randy Rolling threw at her at about 80 miles an hour from 20 feet away. Like, hey, let's go. This is how fast the ball comes off the bat.
Stay hot.
These hitters, so be alive over there at first base.
Well, now Bree Ellis is on deck and Reagan Kramer's batting. And Kramer takes one that gets through the catcher Miller, and the winning run gets to third. Marissa Miller, who has the only RBI for Georgia, commits what should be a pass ball, and it brings the winning run to third.
Snuggle right underneath her glove. A couple of defensive miscues in a row for Georgia on D.
And there is nowhere to hide for Georgia now.
Ball down.
Ball 2 to Kramer. There's a base open, but there's the most dangerous hitter in the country on deck. Infield in for Kramer. 0 for 2 with a walk. She's taking all the way, and it's strike 1.
And she's going to be extra selective, knowing that you're in the bottom of the 7th inning. She could maybe take a walk here, get to first base. She sees a mistake, though. She really can barrel it up. A veteran hitter.
She takes ball 3 from Randy Rolling. If you walk her, good luck. A 3-1 to Kramer. There's ball 4. And if you're Georgia now, this is a capital G gulp situation. Because here's the possible National Player of the Year. Here's the, we're sure, soon to be named SEC Player of the Year. Here's the best hitter in the whole country, and now they have to pitch to her. Bree Ellis. The closest pitch she's seen today is ball 1. Bree Ellis has seen 10 pitches today, and had she been carrying a toothpick, the results wouldn't have been any different. Ellis swings away, deep left field. Her first swing is as grand as it gets. That's why they didn't pitch to her the first 3 times. They had to pitch to her now, and Arkansas walks it off on a grand slam from the nation's best hitter. Oh, by the way, Bree Ellis has just tied the SEC single-season home run record with one of the biggest swings of her college softball life. And I think we're going to hear from Bree rather shortly. Once she catches her breath, let's get it down to Taylor.
Thank you, Bree. They finally had to pitch to you. What were you thinking when you stepped into the batter's box?
Oh, I was just trying to hit a line drive. We had a lot of pop-ups that game. Pitcher had us pretty good in the first half. Sorry, I was just running. Yeah, just not trying to be too big, not trying to be the hero. just trying to find something in the outfield because I knew there was only one out, so a sac fly could have done the job, but yeah, I just saw it well.
What did you think of the at-bats before you to load the bases? What stood out?
Oh, just the patience of our players, of the people before me. They know the situation. They know that, if they get on